Exercise 3, I want to talk to you about what happens when we're looking at ninth chords, or even beyond that, 11ths or 13ths or whatever crazy chords you might come across, and just simply how to understand that. It all comes back again to that major scale. Each scale step gets a number, all right? If I play one octave of a C major scale, and this time I'm going to be way up here at the 8th fret, one octave, start on C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And we remember those numbers would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And my C is 1 again. Alright? I didn't get to 9, did I? If I continue into a second octave of this scale pattern, the next note, D, is my 9th. Now earlier we said D was the second in this key. Well, but it's an octave plus away from our original root note of C. If it's more than an octave away, we don't call it the second, we call it the 9th. Okay? And so you can imagine a 9th chord has that note in it. Alright? If I continue up the scale, there's some notes that retain their number name pretty much no matter which octave they're played in. The 3rd is pretty much almost always called the 3rd. The 4th can either be referred to as the 4th or the 11th. The 5th is always the 5th. It doesn't matter which octave it's in. The 6th of a scale can either be referred to as the 6th or the 13th. The 7th is always the 7th. Okay? So really it's the 9th, 11th, and 13th that are affected by this. Okay? Okay, so let's examine a 9th chord, a C9 chord. Here is a very, very common shape of C chord. It's a little tricky to play. Maybe you know it. I've got my second finger, first finger, and then I've got my third finger barring across the top 3 strings. Okay? If I look at what notes these are, I've got C, which is my root note, E, which is my 3rd, B flat, which is the flat 7th, D, a whole octave plus away from the original root note, so that makes it a 9th. And then I've got a G, a 5th note on top of that. All right? There's how a 9th chord might typically work. All right? Okay, now I'm going to show you a common 13th chord. All right? Common, I guess, if you play jazz and stuff, or swing, or some kind of bluesy stuff. Very cool sounding chord. Western swing, country stuff works with this. I'm basically playing a C bar chord here, but I'm going to take my pinky and move it all the way over to the 2nd string. Okay? And it's lined up on the same fret as my 3rd finger. Okay? And that note is my 6th, or 13th in this case. It's an octave plus above the C chord. So in this chord I have my root note C, I have a G, I have a flat 7th, B flat, I have the 3rd, which is E, and then over here I have my 13th. In this case, the note A. And then over here that last note is C again. Okay? So more importantly though, not this chord or this chord shape, but that you just understand how the scale steps lead to the chord names. Anytime you see a songbook with a chord and it's got something funny in it like C7 sharp 9, you need to figure that chord out in relation to those scale steps. And once you start getting good at doing that, you'll just really improve your playing a whole lot. So think it through. Read through these things, think them through, start applying them to your guitar. All right?